Yeah, time to discuss my rules for gaming. Stick around. Hiya, folks. Old Man Grognard here. Hope you're all doing well. And today I wanted to I've talked about tips, tricks, and other things on this channel, and I've talked about it on Radio Grognard, about how I go about doing games. My way of doing things. Words fail me sometimes. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about the things that the tent pegs, the things that I try and follow as a game master. And I refer to it as Meatball GMing. I got that from MASH, the book and the movie. And maybe the TV show. I don't know. I didn't watch it very much. But it's Meatball GMing. And it went to meatball surgery, because meatball surgery may not be real fancy, but it's fast and it gets the job done. So same thing with Meatball GMing. First of all, always pay attention to the pace and spotlight. What I mean by that is the pace of the game and moving the spotlight around so everybody gets attention. That's very important. There's nobody who wants to sit in the corner and go, hey, what do I get to do? Always got to pay attention to that. Number two, everything is changeable and or expendable. You cannot get you may come up with a great scenario, but that's what it is, a scenario, until the players are into it. I mean, you can't get in love with it. You really can't get in love with it. You got to keep it at a distance. You got to keep it, in your head. If they go one way and they go another, and that messes up half the stuff you do, you either figure out a way to do it the way they're doing it, or get rid of it and start improvising. Start ad-libbing. That's what you have to do. That's the job of the GM. Number three, if you don't use it, save it. This relates to number two. Okay, they just, half your scenario just went out the window because they decided to go this way and do this. Fine, improvise that, but the stuff you made, stick it in your notebook. Stick it somewhere. You're going to be able to use it later, sometime. This is how you always have stuff to do for the players. You got to stockpile this stuff. Don't ever forget it. Just write it down, put it in your notes, put it in your tablet and OneNote or a notebook or whatever. Just keep it. Also, don't let anything throw you. And that includes magic. Don't let anything I've seen more game masters who have been doing it for a while get thrown by something the players do or something that happens. I've told about this story before. I was in a Night Below campaign for 2nd edition AD&D, and we decided to defile a temple of the slime god down there, and we blew it. We totally blew it because I let the cleric do what he wanted to do the way he wanted to do it, and it was the wrong thing. So every time we get out of the dungeon, every time we go back in, he says more slimes and jellies have been made. More slime. After a while, the dungeon was filled with slimes and jellies. He didn't know how to handle that. He kept saying, I don't know what I'm going to do with you guys. I don't know how to get you guys back down there and stuff like that. And I guess the campaign ended. At least that part did. The whole campaign, Night Below ended for us early. And I think about that, and I said, there's got to be, you're not doing your job as a GM if you can't figure that out. You've got to be able to do that. Whatever they throw at you, remember, it's a tennis match. They lob it at you, you lob it back at them. They ask questions, you answer them. They do their thing, you tell them what's going on. That's the way the game goes. It's a back and forth between the players and the GM. And if they do something, you cannot go, no. Like I said, same thing with magic. Well, I just fireballed the room. Okay, you fireballed every other PC in the room along with the bad guys. That's an extreme case. You've probably seen that. You've heard that before. I fireball the room, or something like that, or some spell that negates part of your scenario. Well, it negates part of your scenario, and then you just deal with it. So that's all I got to say. Don't let anything throw you. And number 5, if you're going to fudge, and that's a controversial topic, fudging dice. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying I don't do it. But if you're going to fudge, make it sure it's in the player's favor. Don't go against the players. Do not get basically, I'm saying do not get adversarial with the players, because that's not your job. The NPCs are adversarial. The world may be adversarial, but you don't. I can't stress that enough. So that's basically what I'm saying. So those are the 5 pretty much rules that I follow when I run a game. I mean, there's some that are harder than others, like number 4, don't let things throw you. You got to learn that. All this stuff is like, I'm just trying to give you some advice, some of the newer GMs out there, just so they can get used to doing this. So that's my 5 rules for meatball GMing, and I hope you can use that. So until I see you folks next time, don't forget to like and subscribe down there and ring the bell and all that good stuff. And so until I see you next time, bye-bye.